What made you get into football in the first place, Billy?
To be honest, I've always sort of been interested. My dad was a professional footballer for probably 20 years. So yeah, from the age I could sort of walk, I always had a ball at my feet or carried a ball around. So yeah, I think from like a year and a half, I was always playing football or wanting to play, and yeah, just throughout my childhood, that sort of just carried on really.
Was there then friendly competition between you and your old man with who was going to make it further, or?
Yeah, I used to always have little bets with him, like regarding playing for Wales and just little things, goals, etc. So, but yeah, he's definitely beat me with the playing for Wales. I think I'm a one-cap wonder, and he's got about 26 caps. So yeah, there's still time there.
And what did your journey to professional football look like?
Yeah, so I started picked up from Swindon's academy when I was about 6 or 8 years old, and then yeah, when I got to 15, 16, I got my 2-year apprenticeship scholarship. So yeah, done that for 2 years, and thankfully I managed to earn myself a professional contract at 18, and yeah, not really looked back ever since really. A lot of injuries along the way, which is obviously one of the toughest things during a career. But yeah, thankfully I've managed to sort of hurdle them and carry on playing.
What sort of impact does that have on you mentally? Obviously, when you keep picking up a few injuries, and what's that do for you?
Yeah, I think to be honest, I've had a couple of long sort of time frame injuries and a couple of shorter ones. But if anything, the shorter little niggly injuries play probably a bigger part, because you're sort of missing a couple of weeks, and then it takes a couple of weeks to get back going again and try and get into the team. So it is a big part of football, but I think you just got to stay as strong as you can and as positive as you can throughout however long you're injured. And yeah, that's always sort of worked for me, trying to be upbeat and to sort of set goals along the way. And once you start reaching them goals, obviously you're feeling a lot better, and you're sort of closer to that finish line.
Yeah, so I'm guessing those are obviously the worst side of football, obviously having those injuries, the darker moments.
Yeah, definitely. I've done my ACL twice, so to have sort of 2 years of your career missing is tough. But like I said, I think the best way to sort of deal with it is to try and be as positive as possible, and just set targets each time. So for me, obviously, jogging was the first major sort of target to reach, and once you get to that three-month mark and you're walking and jogging and you're outside a little bit, it's a lot better. And yeah, obviously there's different injuries which take different amounts of time, but for me that was certainly one of the things I used to do.
Yeah, but feeling good now, obviously getting running.
Yeah, so for the last sort of year and a half, 2 years, I've sort of been injury free, thankfully, and yeah, I've played a fair amount of games in that time, and yeah, I'm definitely feeling a lot better at the moment.
Yeah, and what would you say are your sort of best memories, both as a schoolboy coming up and then now into professional football?
To be honest, there's so many as a schoolboy. Like, you play so many games as a young lad, but probably in the FA Youth Cup, every young lad who was sort of my age, it was a big thing. So yeah, playing in the FA Youth Cup was massive as a young lad. But as a professional, I'd probably have to say playing for Wales, my debut for Wales. So that was probably the biggest achievement in my career, playing against Uruguay. So yeah, to play against the likes of sort of Suarez and Cavani, and playing with Bale as well, that was obviously a massive thing for me, and yeah, something that I'll cherish for the rest of my career and probably my life.
Yeah, and obviously now playing, what would you say is like your competitive edge? What gives you that sort of bit to tip you over?
To be honest, the one thing that sort of probably makes me want to win or want to carry on playing more than anything is probably picking up the injuries I have, and it's probably made me more determined to carry on playing for as long as possible, and just to try and be the best I can, to be honest. So yeah, probably going through them tough times has probably made it a lot better for me.
Yeah, do you think you've probably had that switch of mentality from picking up those injuries early in your career to what it is now?
Yeah, I think so. Like I said, it's tough when you get injured, whatever kind of injury, but yeah, it's definitely made me sort of change how I look at the game and how I look at athletes in general. So yeah, although they're a bad thing and nobody wants to get injured, they've probably made me a better player and a better person.
Yeah, and do you think your nutrition sort of played a part in that now? What's your sort of knowledge of that from where you started to where you are now?
Yeah, I think when you're a young lad, you sort of get away with eating whatever you want, and the older you get and the more injuries you get, you definitely sort of have a you want to sort of get involved in the nutrition a little bit more. So yeah, during those times I was out for lengthy times, I'd always speak to my fitness coach and nutritionist at whatever club I was at the time, and they'd obviously give me tips, and yeah, I think the older I've got, it's definitely helped me massively.
Yeah, and I'm guessing easy answer for you being injuries and related to that sense, but what would be your favourite Nutrition X product?
Probably obviously the repair shots. Yeah, like you said, I've had a lot of injuries, or like I've said, so although it's disappointing, there's always things you can do and take to help along the way, so yeah, definitely them.
So if you could name one thing, what would be your favourite thing about playing football?
If I'm honest, it's probably most people's answers, but scoring a goal. There's not many feelings like it, to be honest. You sort of have a mad 3 seconds after scoring where you don't know where to run or what to do. But yeah, no, for me, it's always been scoring.